Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the ribbon cutting and grand opening of Randee Rogers Apartments. I'm MDHA Director of Communications, Jamie Berry, and I'm so excited that you could join us today. It is truly an honor to be able to stand here with all of you as we commemorate the completion of Nashville's newest mixed-income development. But the real reason we are here is to celebrate our residents that we serve. And lucky for us, we will hear from one of them in just a few minutes. Just a couple of years ago, this very spot was home to MDHA's Randee Rogers Training Center and MDHA's maintenance shop. But this prime piece of property now serves a great need. And that's why we are here today to celebrate the completion of 100 apartments, including 50 new affordable, 25 workforce, and 25 market rate. So what makes this a prime piece of property? First and foremost, it's within walking distance of downtown Nashville, a grocery store, a bus stop at the corner, several nearby local restaurants, our downtown farmers market, Tennessee State Museum, Bicentennial Mall, and First Tennessee Park, the home of the Nashville Sounds. This new development features 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments and includes several amenities such as the community room you're in right now, a computer room next door, and an exercise room which is on the 3rd floor. The development has brought new life to this site, but it was also important that we incorporate some of its history. First, the name. The development is named for Randee Rogers, who was an advocate for the programs and what we serve. You will learn more about this remarkable woman in just a few minutes. You may also remember there were very colorful murals that lined the street. Those murals were funded by Mark Deutschman of Village Real Estate and created by artists with the help of our youth in the community. We were replicating those so that we could keep some of the history here. And I hope you saw it when you pulled up. It's actually in 3 different spots, and I think it looks lovely. They did a wonderful job. And Mark is here, by the way. Thank you, Mark, for being here. But none of this would be possible without the work of many partners, all of which played a role in making this development a reality. And I'd like to take a moment just to recognize them. To the city for providing substantial funding from Metro's capital spending plan for this development. Thank you, Mayor Cooper and Metro Council. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for providing capital funding as well as rental subsidy for the 50 new affordable apartments. I'm going to say new like 10 more times, just so you know. I just want to stress that. This is a huge deal because they are additional affordable units here in our great city. Tennessee Housing Development Agency for awarding this development a 4% low-income housing tax credit, multifamily bonds, and community investment tax credits. Boston Capital for investing in the low-income housing tax credits, and to Chase for utilizing multifamily bonds and community investment tax credits to provide construction and permanent financing. So thank you. Multiple partners coming together to work on a true need. That's what we need in our great city right now, to work together to create housing for all Nashvillians. And no one understands that more than the Honorable Mayor John Cooper. Mayor, thank you for your support. If you'd like to come up and say a few words now.
Well, thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, sir.
Well, and I'm just here to thank a whole lot of people. And I want to thank MDHA and its board members. That is hard work. I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to the council. It's with them we're able to provide capital spending help. Dr. White, I have a feeling this may come up again. And to Berkeley Allen and Sharon Hurt and Gloria Hauser and Freddie O'Connell who are here. That support is what gets projects like this done. Our chair, Mayor Purcell. And then I want to thank Tennessee Department of Housing, and thank you, Senator Gilmore, for making that relationship a really good one between MDHA and TDHA. That's one of the fundamental relationships for a city to get right, but thank you, Senator. I see Jerry Maynard is here, and Mark Deutschman, and a whole lot of other, Cheryl is here, a lot of other great partners for our city. But we were here on February the 13th, 2020. It was a cold day. And little did we know what was just ahead for us and our city within 3 weeks. Our 2020 began, but it was great that before all that happened, we could celebrate the groundbreaking and that this could get done in the COVID era. And what is a joy it is to see a lot of the same faces here now, 2 years and 2 months later, Jamie. Pretty good, pretty good. And I'd like to think that Randee Rogers herself would be proud to see these apartments going up in her name. Now, as many of you know, she was a true public servant, a community organizer. She was also an MDHA employee, and somebody that she believed in integration and diversity. She moved to the Preston Taylor Public Housing Complex with her young family in 1977 to better understand the challenge of people living in Nashville's housing projects. You know, Mayor Purcell, it's a moment to realize our current problems have been with us for a while, that even back in 1977. And then she tragically passed away at the age of 35. And though we lost her much too soon, Randee Rogers' impact lives on. And this is a quote from her, that our lives are inextricably linked by the common thread of humanity. And if we break it, we're all undone. So it's an honor to lift up that common thread of humanity, and that's represented by mixed income housing and by the Robert Rogers' apartments in particular. Now, 100 apartments. I'm so grateful that Jamie has about 8 more times she's going to say new. But 50 subsidized, 25 workforce, 25 market rate. It's an example about how funding from the federal government and Metro's capital spending plan can combine to fill an important need to our community. And thank you to our private sector partners. Thank you. I see several folks from Chase here. That's an important relationship. And this has begun to bring diverse Nashvillians together, and the benefits from that are only going to grow. Mixed income housing gives its residents access to job options, grocery stores, high-performing schools. It represents security and upward mobility, and it gives our ideals of inclusion and community a physical place. Now, since I've been mayor, and with the council's help, we have taken major steps to address Nashville's affordable housing. 5 times the rate of investment to building and preserving affordable housing. We have created a dedicated division of housing. We've grown our housing policy toolkit. We're proposing increases to our Barnes Fund and to our operating budget funding for housing. And as of yesterday, the Division of Housing launched its mixed income pilot program. Right? Yes, the sponsor is right there. The new tax incentive to promote mixed income developments which will generate an estimated 300 units of affordable housing. And we are proud to have partnered with the Metro Council and our lead sponsor, Chair Allen, to help push these efforts. And thank you, Angie, and your work on this new thing, this actual division of housing. Far too long, and it's happening. And let's thank Angie for the great job that she is doing. But we got to work together. I think we all agree, nonprofits, developers, local government, to ensure that the city that we love is livable and a place where people of all backgrounds can prosper. And today is a great step in moving that vision forward. We have to remain committed to this vision and to concrete, meaningful solutions on behalf of all Nashvillians. Now, I just want to celebrate the work of MDHA and Dr. White. We're grateful for you being here and leading us and amplifying and focusing our effort to get this big job done for our city. Thank you, Dr. White. And thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Mayor Cooper. Senator Brenna Gilmore has many ties to MDHA. Over the years, she has been an advocate for our residents and our new residential developments. Senator Gilmore, I invite you to share a little bit about your story with MDHA at this time. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I usually, anytime I have to speak, I say, I'm Brenda Gilmore, your state senator, soon to be your retired state senator. I'm honored to be here for so many reasons. My daughter and I have worked with MDHA throughout our careers, and we've been involved with celebrating and contributing to the accomplishment of many residents in this very area and throughout the city. Several of those celebrations, including high school graduates, you know about that, Mayor, received a college scholarship from the Residents Association and MDHA, and I hope that will continue, Dr. White, under your watch. They were held at this very spot back when it was Randee Rogers Training Center. In fact, I'm so proud of these young people who graduated that my daughter and I granted them book scholarships to go to their respective colleges. But I must say that today's event, which celebrates the addition of new, affordable workforce and market rate units, is one of my favorite. It brings back good memories being here. I'm also reminded of another longtime employee, Peaches Manning. Those who are my age and older will remember Peaches Manning, a longtime employee of MDHA, whose office was right here for many years. She was an advocate for those who could not speak for themselves, and she would be pleased, and I know she's watching from heaven, out for the working class. And I'm also pleased that Nashville grows and continues to be the it city, that we are keeping a watchful eye out for the working class and doing all we can to minimize gentrification and displacing our most precious resources, Nashvillians. Half of these units here at Randee Rogers apartment are affordable, which is great news to Nashville and this community. This area has seen such growth over the last decade, and I'm grateful to MDHA for bringing mixed income housing to Buena Vista so that Nashvillians of all incomes have the opportunity to live, to work, and play in this great city, so close to downtown. Thank you, MDHA and partners, for helping to make dreams come true. Thank you for helping to make sure that as we build a great Nashville, that we are ensuring that all Nashvillians who want to live in Nashville can live here, can raise their children here, and can retire in their golden years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Gilmore. Councilman Freddie O'Connell has been representing District 19 for 6 years now and has attended many of the events that we've hosted at our properties in his district, including meetings regarding the new Randee Rogers apartments. Councilman O'Connell, thank you for your continued dedication and service to our residents. At this time, I invite you to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Jamie. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now, I moved to just across Rosa Parks, in the neighborhood of Salemtown, 15 years ago, and I first learned the name of Randee Rogers when I came over to what was then a training facility on MDHA's property named for her, as we started having community meetings about a community development block grant program. And this was basically for neighborhoods that had not had the opportunity to receive as much investment. And these were wonderful meetings that revealed the diversity of the community in this area and the need for investments exactly like this. This is an extraordinary week for me as a representative of District 19. It's an extraordinary week for the city of Nashville. Sometimes when you plant seeds, you hope the soil is fertile. And what we've learned this week is it is extremely fertile, both in District 19, but also in Nashville. Several years ago, the seeds we planted were 2 tranches of $25 million each. One of those tranches just sprouted, so the seed just sprouted a few blocks away for Nashville's first permanent supportive housing project. The other is blossoming right now, right here, as Randee Rogers Apartments. $25 million went to this affordable housing project. And Jamie is exactly right to stress over and over again the newness of some of these units. 50 new units, not replacement units. This was a training facility. This is brand new housing on a major transit corridor that when I moved to this neighborhood, I was riding all the time. The trusty number 42 and 22 buses that run right through this area on their way to points north. And this was how I was actually able to afford my house just a few blocks away. So we understand how all these things come together. And it is an honor to be standing here today representing this area, representing a new vision for Nashville that is mixed income communities. We are deconcentrating poverty. We are increasing the options for Nashvillians throughout the city. And I'm so glad to be here with Jamie and so many others. She is exactly right. The number of partners that it took to pull this off, but who have the commitment to that new vision is extraordinary. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting this effort. And what a great day for Nashville.
Thank you, Councilmember O'Connell. I also want to recognize Council members Sharon Hurt, who I know has very deep roots in this area. So thank you, Sharon, for being here. And Councilmember Berkeley Allen. So thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Gloria Hauser. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gloria Hauser, thank you for being here. I know we communicate via email all the time, so sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, our next speaker I have the pleasure to work with for the last 9 months, and that is MDHA's Executive Director, Dr. Troy D. White. If you've had the pleasure of meeting Dr. White, you already know his focus is on our residents and our mission. At this time, I'd like to welcome Dr. White to say a few words.
Thank you, Jamie. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So today is a wonderful day. And as you all saw, I have a script that Jamie prepared for me, and I'm going to try to stay on script so later today I don't get I wrote it for you for a reason, right? Today is a wonderful day. It is amazing that the clouds parted just as we cut our ribbon, as we're in this building today, is meaningful. As Jamie mentioned at the beginning of the program, our celebration today is really about the residents we serve at Cheatham Place. And I'd be remiss not to start with talking about the 50 units that you keep hearing over and over, and we say new. The reason they're new units because they're newly subsidized in this property, and we're literally relocating residents from Cheatham Place over here, and then we're going to renovate those units, which creates 50 new units for us. So that is very important to me, to my board, and to the community. MDHA provides stable housing for more than 30,000 people in Nashville. And with the help of the many partners that Jamie laid out, that number will continue to grow. Partners like HUD, who are here today, that help provide the rental subsidy. I'd be very remiss to not say this, and I know Mayor Cooper says it when he talks development. This ain't easy. This comes from a guy with a doctorate degree. This ain't easy. There are levels of subsidy. There are approvals from the feds to the state to the local level. This is not for the faint of heart. This property here particularly put a lot of effort to get to today. It ain't easy, but we're here to make it happen. Our goal is to create housing opportunities where every person who moves into one of our developments feels like they are part of Nashville, one Nashville. As you can see, a great transportation corridor within walking distance to services. This location couldn't be better. Before I turn it back to Jamie, I'd like to again thank all of our partners that helped us bring this to fruition. I also want to recognize my board members that are here. It is something that I do that is near and dear. If my board members could stand up that are in the room and we could acknowledge them. My board is volunteer. They do not get compensated for the hours that they pour over these documents and have to approve them, review them, discuss them. And I always have to acknowledge the board because it is a lot of work. I also want to thank all of my staff. Behind the scenes, that what you don't see, if my staff could just wave your hand to those that can see them. We've got quite a few of them here. To create affordable mixed income, it takes a village. We are that village. So today, I'd like to thank everyone for participating and coming out today for such a great day. And I'm really excited to hear our resident. It is something that Jamie and I talk about often when we do these events, because I have to make sure we all know why we're doing this. The construction is great. The bricks and sticks are great. Our partners are always great. But at the end of the day, it's about the end user. And one of the things I said to the chairman as I took this job was we have to have a capital H in MDHA. It can't be a small h anymore. And this is a testament to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. White. Randee Rogers, as you heard from Mayor Cooper, said that she moved into Preston Taylor Homes, and guess what? She said she felt at home there. We feel confident that the individuals and families who live here at these apartments bearing her name will share that same sentiment. At this time, I get to welcome Randee Rogers Apartments resident Jawan McKenzie to share her journey, which led her to her new home.
Hello, and thank you all for having me here today. I'm kind of going to freestyle this, so bear with me. So I moved here back in 2009 with my parents for basically a fresh start. I went to McGavick and graduated from McGavick High School. After that, I attended Lipscomb University for a couple years. After Lipscomb, I decided to go on tour for 3 years from 2014 to about 2017. Since I was on the road so much, I didn't need a house or a home. Once that came to an end, I noticed that I needed a space of my own. So in 2017, I applied for Cheatham Place. And not even 6 months later, I was moving into my new apartment. For the last 5 years at Cheatham Place, it's definitely been an experience. I had amazing neighbors who looked after my place. They looked out for me and when I needed help, and they even cooked for me on certain occasions. I've only been here for a month, but I can already see how much more beneficial it is to live here. The amenities are amazing. We have a beautiful courtyard where we can relax or hang out with our peers. We have a spacious community space, a fitness center, which just so happens to be my favorite amenity. Now, to say it's convenient to me, that would be an understatement. We're located near everything. Kroger's is just a few steps away. The farmer's market is right down the road. And downtown is not even 5 minutes away. So in my opinion, it's definitely a luxury to live in a prime location like this. So I'd like to thank MDHA and all the partners who had a hand in making this all possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McKenzie. Well, so we've cut the ribbon, so I'm going to adjourn in just a minute, but I do want to thank a few more people. Again, I know we've heard this. I'd like to thank all of the partners who made this possible. I'd also like to thank the MDHA staff who helped put on this event. Listen, when you're 1 hour from start time or go time and you're trying to determine if you're going to have an indoor or outdoor event, that's a little bit daunting. So they hung in there with us, and I feel like you guys just saved the day. So thank you so much to the MDHA staff who helped make today possible. I see y'all out there. And to the MDHA staff who's also helping with the event. So thank you. I'd also like to thank our architect, Klein Sweeney Associates, and I know Bart Klein is here, as well as our contractor, R.G. Anderson Company, for their work on this beautiful development. And I think Craig Johnson I see you, Craig. Craig Johnson is also here from R.G. Anderson. So at the conclusion of the event, I invite you to grab a water and a cookie, and then please go on the tour. Your sheet that you have today will tell you everywhere you can go. The community room is right or the computer room is right next door, and then we have a unit up these stairs. If you need the elevator, it will take you to 4R. And then there is another unit on the 3rd floor if you'd like to look at that, and the exercise room. And we made it pretty convenient, so the unit that's on the 3rd floor is right next door to the exercise room, which is right off the elevators. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our elected officials. Thank you, Ms. McKenzie. You were fabulous. Thank you, Dr. White and Mayor Purcell and Mayor Cooper and Senator Gilmore for speaking. I'm just so grateful to have so many wonderful people that are surrounding this city with love and making sure that we continue to serve all Nashvillians. So thank you.